got here? What do you think this is?
A barrel.
A barrel. Anything else? Yeah, yes, they do have them in schools. But this one, I'm going to turn it round and you might see that it's a special kind of barrel. Let's turn it round. Now, does that help? What can you see on this side? A water barrel. Now, where do we get the water from to put in the barrel?
Rivers?
No. You were going to say a hose as well, were you? I had a big trouble getting the barrel. Listen to me. I got a big trouble getting the barrel because these barrels at the moment are full of water. I have 2 at home, but I couldn't bring it because it was full of water. Now that water came off my roof. And that's what happens. You put a little pipe from your roof, and when the water comes on the roof, it comes down the pipe, it fills the barrels, and then when you want to water your garden, that's right, you turn the tap, put the water in your watering can, and you can water your garden. And it's very nice water because it's rainwater. Now, I want to tell you a story about a barrel today. Okay, in my story today, there were 5 children. Now, look how tall this barrel is. The person I'm going to tell you about, who's going to be the main person in the story, is Paul. He was about this big. Wasn't as big as the barrel, he was about this big. Now, does anybody know what a bungalow is? A bungalow, what's a bungalow? No, it's a... That's right, it's a house that doesn't have any bedrooms higher up. So it's a small house, because all the bedrooms are downstairs. If you live in a flat, you wouldn't have any stairs either. But this one is a bungalow. So the roof is not as high as on most houses. Now, Paul, Susan, and Ruth had gone to visit some friends who had like a little small farm. And they were called Pat and David. And they lived on this little small farm. Why I said it was a little farm, they didn't have very many animals, but they had some animals. Now, animals need straw. What do they need straw for?
Eating?
They don't really eat the straw because it's not very nice. Sleeping on it, yeah. They put it down and the animals can sleep on it. But animals also make a mess on the straw and it gets very smelly and very dirty. So they have to...
Scoop it up and put new.
That's right. They scoop it up and put new. And in the yard where these animals lived, in this shed, there were bales of straw. And these bales of straw would be about this high. And they were piled up. That's important. That's why I'm telling you about the straw. And the children... there was a shed where they kept the big new tractors and all the things they need on a farm. But it was a funny roof. If you look at the roof on your house, it goes straight like that. This roof went down and then it went up a little bit, just a little bit. So it went down and up. That's important as well. Now, the children were visiting with their daddy. Their daddy had gone to the barn, this shed, to look at the new tractor that his friend had got. And the children were sliding down the roof. But they were allowed. No, they were allowed. I'll tell you why. Let me tell you about it. This roof, remember, was only as high as a bungalow. So it wasn't really high. And there were bales of straw. So what they did is they would sit on a mat, climb up the roof. It was a slanting roof like that. They'd climb up the roof, sit on the top, sit on this mat, slide down and bang into the hay. Now, is hay soft? Yeah, it was all right. So they used to do this, and it was allowed. And it's nice to do things that are a little bit dangerous, but is allowed. And the children were climbing up, sliding down, climbing up, sliding down. And well, no, because remember they were landing on the straw. But I want to tell you something that did happen. Daddy was in the shed, Paul, Susan, and Ruth's daddy was in the shed talking to David and Pat's daddy. And the children were sliding, and they could hear the children sliding. Now, I don't really know what happened. It was Paul's turn. He was coming down the roof, and the children shouted something to him, those who were sitting at the top. He got halfway down, he turned round to shout back to the children, and something happened. I don't know what quite happened, but instead of going down feet first, his body turned, And he started to go down head first. But instead of heading for the straw, he was heading for the corner of the building where the water barrel was. So instead of coming down straight and landing on the straw, he was heading head first down the roof towards the water barrel. And the water barrel was full of water because it had been raining. And Paul slid and went head first into the water barrel. His sisters screamed, and his dad came running out of the shed, and all he could see was Paul's feet coming out of the water barrel. And this is a true story. The rest of him was in the water. So Dad and his friend quickly grabbed a leg and they pulled. And fortunately, they were strong enough to pull him out of the water. Now, if Daddy hadn't been there to answer the scream of the girls, he would have died in that water. Now, we have a heavenly Father, and we also have an angel. Do you know that each one of you has an angel? The Bible said that your angels go backwards and forwards to heaven to see Jesus. So we have God to look after us, we have an angel to look after us. And whenever you need God, whenever you're in danger, God will come to your help. Now, Paul could not ask God to help him because he was in the water, but his sisters screamed, and God heard that scream, and his daddy came running. So remember, whenever you have problems, go to God, talk to him, and ask your angel to be with you every day to keep you safe.